everything I tell you is things I have told to the police. So it's not, there's no secret coming out that you guys are hearing. It might be secret from a public perspective, but it's all things that the feds have been knowing for a couple of days. So the last message that she sends me in June, 2 days after leaving.
So the main theories right now are that JF either directly killed her in their house and dumped her body somewhere, or that he drove his retarded wife to the woods in the middle of nowhere and abandoned her for 4 months, effectively killing her by doing nothing. Good friend of the stream, JF Gariepi, formerly known as the It's Love, you idiot guy.
That's called love, you idiot.
Who wanted to not abduct, but fuck. I wish I should have done prep for this off stream, but I was running errands this morning. I don't know if this is the same woman or not, okay? But for a quick backstory, I'm gonna give you a backstory on one girl. Have you ever seen clips of me arguing against like 30-year-olds dating 19-year-olds? This was the context. So JF and I were arguing a long time ago about a potential wife that he wanted to take. So there was JF bragged, like so many of these conservative people, weird people do, about chain fucking 18 or 19-year-olds up and down the East Coast or something. He's a very strange guy, very predatory, was obviously hunting for young, inexperienced women, because that was the kind of women that he liked. And eventually he set his eyes upon one woman that he'd taken a great fancy to that lived across the country from him. Now, I don't know if it's the same one we're going to talk about later, but just to give you an idea of who he is. So this girl was, I believe she was 19, I think he was 30 plus, and he wanted to have her come over to him and put a baby in her as soon as possible. Now, I'm not stating that this is like hyperbole or whatever. This is what he said by his own admission. He wanted to have babies. He wanted to put babies in this woman. He wanted to do it as soon as possible. Now, as he was trying to get this woman to flee her family, it came out that the family, I think, was trying to get an injunction in the court, and eventually this woman was declared so mentally incompetent that she became like not a dependent, not a ward, but like her parents basically had all control of her autonomy because this woman couldn't take care of herself. Like apparently she was 19, she wasn't able to clean herself properly. I was reading the court docs a long time ago on this, but yeah, she was, conservatorship might be, but she was definitely developmentally delayed. But that was the caliber of woman that JF Gariepi was trying to recruit for his baby making scheme. Before we start reading anything, so I'm literally just going through Cyber Vegan's notes on this. So, well, actually here, let's read this first, okay? I only went over this a little bit. I read a little bit, but I think this is a different woman. Elora Patuan, I don't know how to read this woman's name, 30, has ties to both Western PEI and the province of Quebec. So the PEI RCMP put out calls for info on a woman missing since June 17th. She was last seen on June 17th in Borden, Carleton, PEI. RCMP says a concerned citizen reported her missing only this past weekend. This story was published a couple days ago, or was last updated a couple days ago, published it a couple days ago as well. So this is very recent, okay? RCMP on PEI have put out a call for information on a woman who was last seen in mid-June after receiving a call from someone they describe as a concerned citizen. The last known sighting of her was on June 17th in Borden, Carleton, the village that's home to the PEI end of the Confederation Bridge linking the province to New Brunswick. Patuan, I'm going to guess her name is Patuan. I'm probably horribly mispronouncing this. Is 30 years old. She's 5 feet 10 inches and weighs 140 pounds and has brown curly hair. She speaks both French and English. RCMP Corporal, CPL, Gavin Moore says the investigation began this weekend when police got a call expressing worry about Patuan. You are saying it right. Oh, okay. There's a high priority file, he said. We make efforts to follow up with all known contacts to that individual. We reach out and make sure that anybody who may come across them will let us know. He expects police will be conducting interviews and checking through any available surveillance video as they search for Patuan. Moore said Patuan has links to both Prince Edward Island and Quebec, and her last known address was in Western PEI, Prince Edward Island. When someone goes missing, it has deep and far-reaching impacts for the person and those that know them. I said a post on the Facebook page maintained by the RCMP. We ask that people spread the word through social media respectfully. Both Prince District RCMP and the Force's Major Crime Unit are investigating. So, apparently this woman is the same one he had on a stream in 2019. So the interesting hypothesis that people have right now that the internet is running with, I think Kiwi Farms and Twitter are running with, is people think that JF killed this woman. Here's a picture of her on his stream a while ago. We might have watched this a few years ago. Okay, so now I'm reading Cybervegan's notes on this. It turns out that his wife has been missing since June and he never reported it. It's been 4 months since her last sighting. A concerned citizen reported her missing last weekend. JF claims it was not him. JF says somehow someone ended up noticing that she was missing and called the police. He claims that her family knew she left him and didn't call the police either. Now, does anybody have a link to his tweet? Oh, because I see that that's not linked here. Does anybody have a link to JF's tweet? Don't tag my name in chat, just link the tweet, but don't tag my name and it shouldn't ban you. Oh, here it is, okay. The police in Canada is looking for Mama JF because it's true that because in true Mama JF fashion, she has left our home in June and has disappeared from the map. I'm sure that Mama JF is fine. I know she's been safe for at least 2 days after I dropped her off where she wanted to go in June. Mama JF left our home entirely voluntarily to go live a life of adventure wherever it would bring her. But since she has electronically disappeared, not connecting to her cell phone or updating me or her family, I ask anyone who would have encountered her to just notify the police so that they can know she's safe. And I ask her if she wants to leave a note to the police, me, or her family to ensure everyone of her safety. If you want to send an encrypted tip anonymously, I can receive them at jfgaryepi@proton.me. Is this the same tweet? You were the last known person here since June. No, she's been traveling and leaving an electronic trace far from mine, so I do not expect her to be a suspect in her disappearance. I'm trying to find the thing, but I believe that maybe it's in these notes. I believe that JF says that he drove out and dropped her off at a random place. But let me keep reading Cybervegan's notes here. Her last known location was in the middle of nowhere. He says she wanted to go on a survivalist trip and live off the grid. Those are two direct quotes, whatever that means. She's last seen next to the woods near a gas station. She has no car, no money, just her phone and camping materials. In his stream about it, he repeatedly says she left, but then lets it slip that he actually dropped her off somewhere, so that location is likely her last known location that was reported. JF says that she told him 2 days after she left that she will not be reachable, going back on their supposed plan to keep in contact. He says that she plans on getting a new phone and abandoning him and their kids. He words everything about this event very strangely, saying that she had nothing that the police can use to track her with. Apparently there's an MP4 linked here.
So in June she left, and And 2 days after leaving, so she left and she had a whole plan. She had bought camping material. She was on her way to some sort of survivalist trip. From what I understood, it looked like she was preparing for life in the wild. She promised me when she left that she would always be reachable and that I would be able to reach her to deal with all of the official papers. You know, that she owns a lot of stuff and sometimes I need her signature. And I was like, and although, you know, we do have legal remedies for this, I was like, if you totally disappear, you might put me in trouble on some bills, on some, you know, getting utilities and everything. So she promised to me that she wouldn't fully disappear. She went away. And 2 days later, she talked to me on the phone and sent a message. By the way, everything I tell you is things I have told to the police. So it's not, there's no secret coming out that you guys are hearing. It might be secret from a public perspective, but it's all things that the feds have been knowing for a couple of days. So the last message that she sends me in June, 2 days after leaving, and it had been apparent, I think I may have been in contact for a couple of times during these 2 days, so I was sure that she was progressing through whatever trip she wanted to do. I knew that she was still alive. But 2 days after leaving, she says, I have changed my plans. I will not hold my promise toward you. I will not be reachable. And it's like, okay. She says, I have a new plan. And I'm like, does your new plan involve any sort of attack against me or the family? Because you guys know how important that is to me. She says, you don't have to be worried. My new plan does not involve you. I'm just going to change cell phone. Now, I knew that she had left without any sort of electronic tracking. You know how the police can track you with your credit card, with your debit card. She had left with nothing but her
This is so fucking sus.
phone. So when she said that to me through text,
Like, why is she trying to not be tracked by the police?
I concluded, okay, she's going off grid. You know, she's going full survivalism, and kind of in her fashion. I mean, that's the way Mama JF is.
And the next note was, he takes a day off of streaming on the day that his wife leaves and is last seen, and then he takes 2 more days off because of changes in his setup. That's a quote. When JF streams again, he talks about how happy he is to be rid of her and how much cleaning, sterilizing, reinstalling, plastering the walls, construction, and renovation that he has done.
But in my case, I'm comfortable enough, and Mama JF has left me with everything that matters in life, what matters most of life. And so what can I do? I cannot hate her. I cannot be frustrated about this. And that's it. So that's why I had to take 3 days total to... I made so much cleaning, so much reinstalling, so much... plastering of the walls, construction, renovation. I wanted to set the home in the way I like it. It's like sterilize this home now. I can walk finally. I can access everything. The fridge is super clean.
JF talks a lot about the police fleeing the country, not appearing guilty, and tweets about how there isn't any location data linking them. JF also talks on a stream about how he knows what cell tower she was pinging at the time. This is the same retarded girl that 2 separate examiners found to be mentally unfit way back. I think she had the IQ of a 10-year-old or some shit, so he found it appropriately... Okay, hold on. So Cybervegan posts this, but other people in chat were saying this isn't true. So I guess take this with a grain of salt. I think Cybervegan is just quoting the Kiwi Farms article. However... this could also be a second mentally retarded woman. It might not be the first mentally retarded woman that he tried to abduct from Texas. It might be a second retarded woman. Yeah, she's also retarded. Because I think, it's been a long time, but I think a few years ago I saw videos of this woman where I was like, oh, this woman is developmentally delayed. That's what it looked like. But it's been many years since I saw this, so I could be incorrect. It's been like 3 or 4 years since I saw videos of her, so I could be wrong on that. Okay, Cybervegan is saying... this is the same retarded girl that 2 separate examiners found to be mentally unfit way back. I think she had the IQ of a 10-year-old or some shit, so he found it appropriate to just let her leave on some sort of expedition with nothing to her name, without her kids, that she isn't reported missing until 4 months later. JF consistently claims that he never wanted to call the police for all those months because he didn't want to send the feds after her because she made her decision, or something to that effect. At the same time, he talks about how she needs someone to take care of her. His whole stream where he addresses it is just so strange. He laughs about it and talks about how Western society has ruined women, and how if he was able to own her like an object, this would have never happened. He also talks about how the police keep returning to their house and how annoyed he is, speaking about how he has a very high security home and refuses to let them in. He says he isn't motivated to find her and talks about how he never requested any of this, complaining about how the police want to save everyone. He says those are 2 quotes. He says that all she needs to do is, quote unquote, give a clue that she is alive and everyone will calm down and leave him alone. He weirdly talks about how the police, He weirdly talks about how he told the police that she is a professional fugitive and that she'll be toying with them, hiding her face from every camera, and that she wouldn't be able to find her, and that they wouldn't be able to find her, comparing her to spy movie characters. It's unclear if this woman can even read. He says that just before she left, she violated a rule so intense that nobody can know about it while he was on stream. He calls her a terrorist for doing this.
Again, disappearing, and just before she left in June, I remember a bizarre show where I accused her of terrorism because she tried to enter the studio with something that I do not allow at all on this show, like at all. And she knows it very well that there will never be such things on this show. And she attempted to surprise me by surprise opening the door of the studio and came running to my camera. And I had the chance to turn off the camera just before she arrived to me, because it's like 2 meters. She did a 2-meter run to try to violate one of the ultimate rule of the show, a rule so intense that you guys cannot even ever hear it. That you guys cannot even tell you what the rule is. And it's like, and then I said, Mama JF, you're banned from the show for a couple of weeks because that was actual terrorism. You have attempted to terrorize me, and yeah, so that was maybe weeks before she left. I don't know that it's directly related, but I think that she was starting to kind of be in a mood of party, and in her.
When the news of her disappearance goes public, JF makes a tweet about how if anyone has any information, they should contact the police or his private email. JF doesn't include a picture of her, their location, or any information about her in the tweet. He ends his stream about it laughing about the girlfriend of the progressive activist guy who got stabbed to death and her reaction to him dying. So the main theories right now are that JF either directly killed her in their house and dumped her body somewhere, or that he drove his retarded wife to the woods in the middle of nowhere and abandoned her for 4 months, effectively killing her by doing nothing. And then there's a link to yesterday's VOD, and then here's a VOD from the first stream after she disappeared. Jesus. So I don't know if I probably don't want to watch all of this. I don't know how long. Oh, okay, it's an hour stream. But apparently this was
stable, and as long as you
June 20th. This is after she left the first time.
Constrain them legally to stay with you. They will choose to become a crack whore on the street before the U.S. government. And the only thing you can think of, since it's a loss where we've sent by error $6.2 billion to Zelensky, and the only thing that comes to your mind is, oh my God, we could have made so much sex change surgery onto people with this. If you were not blackpilled, you should be starting now. The reason I was away from the show is that there were big changes here in the home. Mama JF has abandoned the family once again. It's really too bad. It sucks. And it's not something that I wanted, but it is just, that's just what it is. I mean, I've been covering for many years how women are just unstable. And as long as you don't constrain them legally to stay with you, they will choose to become a crack whore on the street before they choose a stable relationship. So it's as simple as this. Civilization is either a polygamous crack whore-based civilization, or it's a marriage-based one, and men must be the one just forcing it. We have to force it. We have to give up our principles for choice and liberty, and that's just what it is. Now, I will not say anything bad about Mama JF. She has been honorable in her leaving, so I'm not even going to comment on the details and all, but as happened last time, I will simply repeat the same thing. I did not choose this. I truly believe in monogamy and full devotion to each other, and yet I'm faced with a world of females who follow their whims and emotions, and so be it. You know, it's she was honorable in the process, in that she didn't do anything to destroy me or to destroy the family, and so credit, and that's it. I'm continuing life.
If she's done this before, is it that unlikely she would have again? No, this is about that leaving, right? Yeah. This was after she left this most recent time, but it was 4 months ago, and he never reported it.
For these 3 days, I needed them to rearrange my setup. Things are different when there's not someone around. I need to set up different things that relate.
Locationism, the false modern leftist idea that you're entitled to know where people are.
To my tasks in the home. I'm
he said she disappeared once again. Yeah, I don't know if she's left like this before. I feel like I would have heard about that if that happened, because word always gets around about these crazy situations. But maybe it has. But
I'm now in charge of keeping the home clean and everything, and honestly, it's a takeover of the home in terms of, because Mama JF, I was giving her full reign into determining how the home would be placed and the various care that she would have to do. She was determining what she was doing. But now that I'm the head of the home, I like things a little cleaner. I like things a little more orderly. I like things, if you don't use something, I want it in the trash. You know, I'm a guy of, I want access to everything. Mama JF would constantly pack the fridge with all of her vegetables and stuff. It's like I wouldn't eat. I don't know if she would eat it, but I'm more like a guy. I want an empty fridge where I can access each of the important ingredients: ketchup, relish, mustard, and I don't want anything more. Nicholas Petrus says, Mama JF, please come back. We'll see if she comes back like last time. At this point, I'm not counting on anything. And with time, I've just become just totally shelled from this, because it's like, it happened to me so often, and so often that woman would make you commit into a lifestyle, make you commit into caring for them, and then they will just disappear and ruin your life in the process. I've learned from having my life wrecked in many cities and many governments and many countries before I got it.
Oh, that's actually a good point. Actually, yeah, true. Hold on. How would I do this? No. RTBA says I should put up a reward for information that's led to her being found. But what if this is just like a big joke they're playing on everybody? What if she's just like living in the home and not saying that? I don't want to pay JF $1,000. But if it's like, because I would offer $1,000 reward, sure. But if she is just some retarded woman that's just like wandering around.
It, and I understood that you have to set your life on the assumption.
Oh no, that's true. If there are police reports and stuff. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. They can't just be joking in the house because they're like, yeah, that's true.
That your woman will leave you, and that is that should be a black pill to anyone in the chat, because here I am with complete freedom, complete support. I can offer to any woman. I can pay for your life. Like, you don't need to work for the rest of your life. And here you can do whatever you want in the home. Here you want this floor yours, that's all yours. You do whatever you like. And even when you get to that point with Bitcoin reserves and everything, they will still choose to go to the city to be a crack whore. That is just what women are. They are all crack whores deep inside, and some of them can hide it for temporary amounts of time for a specific purpose if they have a plan. Anyways, it's not even talking here specifically about Mama JF, but women in general are simply not trustable, and they constrain themselves into living in poverty.
Jesus. That was one, and then there's a second vibe, but we won't watch more. But yeah. Yeah, holy shit. So it seems like people are theorizing that the two leading Twitter/Kiwi Farms theories are that he killed his wife in the house and then dumped her body somewhere, or that he just took her out to the woods and either killed her or just like dropped her off to let her wander around until she basically died. If she truly is so developmentally delayed that she's like at the developmental level of a 10-year-old, then yeah, dropping her off in the woods somewhere would be effectively killing her. But